What's going on, insecticidal gang? Got a couple plant things to do. Shout out to my man Dan. He sent me a Sarracenia rosea Chipola clone that he grew out and sent to me because he didn't need it anymore. So I was like, I'll take it and pot it up, put it in my collection because I don't have very many roseas myself. Nevertheless, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my reduced peat pot and mix for these plants. It is 3 parts sifted pine bark fines, 1 part peat, and 1 part perlite. I sometimes add sand, but I'm out of sand, so it's going to be perlite today. But what I'm going to be showing you is the steps that I go through to go from pine bark, which costs like $3 or $4 a bag at Lowe's, all the way down to having something that I can pot my plants in and they survive in it. I've been using this mix all summer, all sprinkled out throughout the collection. I haven't done it very consistently, but I got this idea from my friend Fred, which I'll link his page and Dan's page in the description down below so you can check their plants out. But Fred's plants speak for themselves. So when I saw him and, we were dealing with a little bit of rot and stuff like that, and we wanted to keep our plants just a little bit more on the drier side, I was like, well, I gotta try it out because his plants look so good. So I'm gonna show you how I've whipped that up, and I'll see you guys later. Hopefully it intrigues some of you guys to do the same. And I know not using peat is a big thing out there because of the sustainability of using it. So I figured using this every now and then is my way of giving back, because in this hobby we do use a ton of peat. So you guys sit tight. Some of this is gonna be muted because I gotta use this daggone machine and it's super loud. Speaking of, this is a leaf blower / vacuum combo that I got from Walmart. It costs about 50 bucks. But what I do is I use this to scoop up the pine bark, and it literally grinds it down into smaller pieces. We'll go through the steps in a second. Y'all sit tight. All right, so the way I stage it is, this is my pine bark bucket, and then this is my bucket that after I run it through the machine. And again, this thing is just, it's falling, it's windy this morning, but this thing is just a leaf blower / vacuum combo. Like, again, I got it from Walmart. It comes with this bag that I click onto it, and you just suck up the pine bark and it grinds it down. It's got metal fan blades in there that grind it down. And then I take that byproduct of what's left, and then I run it through a sifter, which makes it, which sifts out the big chunks and gives me really, really small chunks. And what you end up with is something that looks like this for your plants. Nice and airy, but it still retains moisture. It retains enough moisture for the plants. All right, so now we're gonna sift. I made this sifter. It's got a 1/4 inch, what's this stuff? I forgot what this stuff is called. But it's basically 1/4 inch screen. I think I got it from like Tractor Supply or Lowe's or something like that. Then I just took a couple pieces of wood, nailed them together, and then Used a staple gun and screws and cabinet screws to screw the screen down. It works really well for this application. This is the only thing I've ever used it for, so that's the only thing I got to go by. So I mean, obviously what I'm gonna do is, and I like to spread it on thin, because what we're looking for is the smaller pieces. So you don't want that right there in there. But I don't like to put it on super thick either, because you got to shake it too hard, and then because I didn't make my sifter with super high sides, a lot of it ends up going over the side. So I just do a little bit at a time, and then lightly go back and forth like this. I bounce it around a little bit. Do it like that. Do that a couple times. That's about it. That's about all you're gonna get. So then this whiskey barrel is gonna be my discard pile real quick. Cause all I'm gonna do is take that right there in the discard pile and run it back through the machine. I'm gonna just keep running it through the machine and see if I can get it smaller and smaller. But the most amazing thing is, this is literally one bag of pine bark mulch. One bag. And I can't tell you how many of these batches I've made. I mean, it's easily, if I had to guess, maybe 6 or 7 batches off that one bag. Because I've figured out that whole trick with the machine on none other than YouTube. That right there is what you're looking for. I just want to make sure y'all can see that. All right, so I didn't I didn't sift the entire batch because there's no point in doing so, and I don't like to do that anyway, because if it rains, this thing fills up with water. So I'd rather have less to get the water out of than that. Those containers have holes in them where they drain on their own. But again, we're going to be doing 3 parts of the sifted pine bark fines. That's what these are, sifted pine bark fines. 1 part perlite, 1 part peat moss. Today we have black gold peat moss, which is pretty good. Black gold is pretty good. I usually get it from Tractor Supply. It's treated me well. So I'm using a standard 3.5-inch pot as my as my scoop today. So I'm just scooping up. That's 1 part. Hopefully you guys can see. And there are little sticks and stuff in there from the mulch. I don't bother with the sticks. They'll decompose. They'll do whatever they're gonna do in the medium. I'm, just in an attempt to save some type of time, I don't go through and pick every single little stick out. The plants don't experience that in the wild. They have stuff all in the soil that they grow in. So next is perlite. That's what this is. Drop that in there. And then 1 scoop of peat, which my peat got rained in, which I'm not particularly a big fan of. It is sopping wet. I don't like this at all. But with it being mixed up with everything else, it'll offset. But that's just pure peat moss. Yeah, that's it. And now we're gonna do what you think we're gonna do. We're gonna stir it up. There you go. Nice and crumbly. That's what we're looking for. Nice and crumbly. All right, so before we get started, I have my Super Thrive mix. I take a solo cup and put 3 drops of Super Thrive in it, and then I soak the plant. I'll probably do this one for like 15 minutes. I'm gonna clip off. Got a couple dead traps on it. I'm gonna just go ahead and clip those off. Yeah, right there at the base. I'll probably just go ahead and clip that one too. Nice roots. Dan is an expert level grower, so I knew that it was gonna be quality when I got it. But yeah, man, life got away from me. I forgot to pot this thing up. To be honest, it's been sitting in the bag for like a week, so I'm definitely gonna soak it in Super Thrive. I'll see you guys in a second. All right, it's been 15 minutes. So let's do the easy part and get this thing potted up so we can get it on the road to recovery, since I decided to leave it in a bag for a week. But you know, I do my thing with the forceps, slightly dry media. That's my thing. I like to keep it airy. If I can get the forceps around this root mass, there we go. And we're just gonna drop it right in the middle. Let me see if I can tuck that in there so the roots don't go all over the place on me. Let me see. All right, that's a little bit better. But yeah, we're just gonna push it down in the middle. Boom. No drama. This one was easy. But you just want the crown right at ground level. And then I'm just packing a little bit of it around the sides. And then we're gonna soak the pot in to remove the air pockets. Y'all seen me do that before. And then it's done. All right, mission accomplished. Made us another batch of peat reduced potting mix, and got our new rosea potted up at the same time. That's what we're working with. It'll definitely rebound, don't you worry. Turn it to a night. Look at this picture right here. I like the shape. It's got a lot of promise. Still a young plant. When this thing settles in and is allowed to mature and without being bothered or worried about being divided, it's going to turn into a straight beast. Don't you worry. Appreciate y'all checking the video out. Give that mix a shot. If you got a sifter around, you know, if you don't want to go buy a whole bunch of stuff to try it out, then don't do it. But, you know, if you got some stuff around where you can give it a shot, do it. I like it. It's worked well for a lot of the plants that I've put in it. I haven't lost plants, you know, and they've all grown well. But I'll see you guys later.